Have you ever thought about scuba diving certification levels? I'm sure you're familiar with the most common ones: open water, advanced, rescue, instructor. But what about the ones that are less common? The ones that are obscured from view? The ones that are hidden? Welcome to Waterline Academy. My name's Paul, and in this video we're going to uncover the 6 hidden certification levels, ranging from when you first start diving all the way through to being a professional. So whether you're new to diving or a seasoned professional, put some pressure on that subscribe button for weekly videos on scuba diving skills and tips. Let's dive in. Now you can probably trip me up here because there aren't actually any certification levels that are really hidden from view. They're all there and they're available for you to find and to take those courses if you need to. However, most of these courses are used to bridge the gap between one certification level and another. They may be used to bridge the gap between your age and your next certification level, or perhaps the time that you have available to complete a course. They may even be used as a tool to bridge the gap between the skill level that you have and the amount of practice that it'll take to get you to the next level. In some instances, these certification levels may be a prerequisite for you to be able to complete another course. In any event, it's important to know how certification levels stack and where those hidden levels are so that you can use them as tools to bridge the gap between where you are today and where you want to get to. You can think of certification levels as a set of concentric circles stacking outwards to build on your experience. At the center of those concentric circles is you, and the focus is on you developing scuba diving skills that you're going to use on every dive you do from now on. Let's first take a look at the 4 primary certification levels. You'll find this framework across most agencies. The names may be slightly different, but essentially the framework holds true. In the very first instance, you're going to be learning to scuba dive, and so all the focus is on you. This will be at your open water level. You see, open water diver is the first certification level where you are fully qualified to go out and dive with other certified divers. However, before open water scuba diver, there is another level called scuba diver, which is a limited certification, and there are restrictions in place. You'll have to dive above 12 meters. You need to dive with a professional, which is a dive master or an instructor. The training starts off exactly the same as open water scuba diver. However, you won't complete the last 2 modules of the open water course, which means that you have a limited certification and you'll be able to complete your full certification when you complete the last 2 modules of the open water diver course. You can use the certification level if you're short on time to complete the open water course and you're going on holiday and you know that you want to go diving, but you want to be grouped with scuba divers with some experience instead of scuba divers who are just trying a dive out and have absolutely no experience. The next level outwards is the environment, and this is where your focus shifts from you and your skills to the environment and how you dive in various environments. This is where you could place your advanced course and a number of specialty courses that you can take. We also uncover another hidden certification level: Adventure Diver. Adventure Diver is within the advanced family. This certification level is there primarily to bridge the gap between the age of a junior diver and an adult diver. This certification level gives a junior diver the ability to take on a rescue course. To start your rescue course, you need to have completed a navigation dive and you need to be an adventure diver or over. In order to be certified as an advanced diver, you need to complete a deep dive, which is normally conducted to 30 meters. A junior diver is not allowed to go past 18 meters, which means that they cannot complete an advanced course. And without completing an advanced or adventure dive, you can't progress to rescue diver. So again, this course is there primarily to bridge the gap between a diver's age and the ability to take the next course. The next circle outwards starts to focus on other divers and assisting other divers in an emergency situation. This is primarily where you find your rescue diver course. However, there's another hidden course that you have to complete in order to gain your rescue status, and that is a first aid course. PADI calls it EFR, Emergency First Response. However, any first aid course, the equivalent of PADI's EFR, that encompasses first aid and CPR, will be accepted so that you can get your rescue diver certification. Now, most people might think that if you have to have it, why isn't it incorporated into the rescue diver course? The rescue diver course is primarily an in-water and dive site orientated course. CPR and first aid will normally be conducted as an indoor course and focuses on more than just diving skills. And a CPR first aid course, you need to be current, which means you need to repeat that course at least every 2 years. At the end of a rescue course, I always feel that my rescue skills are at their peak. Now, as a dive master or instructor, you're going to repeat a rescue course probably a couple of times a year. However, as a recreational diver, once you've completed your rescue course, you don't ever have to complete that course again. Now, this is where I have a slight problem with most training agencies. I believe that a rescue course should be completed a number of times throughout a diver's career. And if there's one course that I encourage you to do more than once, it's the rescue diver course. Whenever you speak to divers who've completed a rescue diver course, they will always tell you that rescue was the best course they ever took. And that's because the amount of skill that you learn and the confidence that you gain in your own diving is exceptional. Within this rescue diver sphere is the next hidden course, and that is oxygen provider. During your rescue course, you're going to touch on providing oxygen to a diver in need. However, the focus of the rescue course is to get a diver out of the water and to dry land. An oxygen provider course is going to bridge the gap between getting that diver out of the water and assisting them through their decompression sickness until a qualified paramedic can take over. Providing the right level of care and oxygen for a diver who has decompression sickness could mean the difference between life and death. An oxygen provider course is a fantastic course to take. However, it's not a prerequisite for anything else other than to improve your skills and your confidence during a rescue. The next level is professional, where your focus shifts again to assisting other divers in a proactive manner. This will be things like leading a dive as a dive master or perhaps training a course as an instructor. However, before we cover the professional level, there's another hidden certification level called the Master Scuba Diver. The Master Scuba Diver certification is the pinnacle of recreational levels. It is a massive pat on the back to acknowledge that you've completed your open water diver course, advanced rescue, first aid and CPR, 5 specialty courses and at least 50 dives. You've reached a recreational level that most other divers will never accomplish. Master Scuba Diver is a certification level to bridge the gap between a recreational diver who's accomplished a level equivalent to a professional without actually going down a professional route. At the professional level, your focus shifts once again from yourself, the environment, and assisting other divers in a rescue situation to assisting divers proactively when you're taking them into a diving environment that they may not have been before. So for instance, a dive master might lead divers into an environment that they've never dived before. And a diving instructor is going to train divers in skills and environments that they've never dived before. And that brings us to the professional level, including dive masters and instructors. And more specifically, the next hidden scuba diving certification level, the assistant instructor. The assistant instructor is capable of providing certain training during an open water course and certain specialty courses that they can train independently of an instructor. This is a certification level that bridges the gap between a dive master and an instructor, where an instructor can certify a full range of courses. An assistant instructor can assist during those courses, however they aren't there to certify divers to the same core level that an open water instructor can certify. The assistant instructor certification is a fantastic level to achieve if you want to be involved in training other divers, but without the responsibility of signing off that final certification. This might be a stepping stone between your dive master certification level and becoming a full-fledged instructor while gaining experience in a training environment. Has this video helped you uncover the certification level that you need to bridge the gap between where you are today and the level that you want to get to? Let me know in the comments, and watch this video for more scuba diving skills and tips.